now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. Destroyed that technology, it's a painful process to build it back again. Destroyed that technology, it's a painful process to build it back again. Destroyed that technology, it's a painful process to build it back again. Well, I'm one of the science guys, and I'm one of the repair guys. And there's lots of science and lots of repair to do on station, so that will certainly keep us all busy. NASA astronaut. Got a toilet that you use, and then a machine that goes chugga 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 chug, and then you go to the galley and you make yourself a cup of coffee. And that's exactly what you are thinking it is.
Who said you drink pee?
Destroyed that technology.
Orbital slingshot. Launching Redbird into space. Well, hey, we're already into space.
Going to Mars.
Look at that. All the way down. I'm a NASA astronaut.
God is a jealous God.
I'm a NASA astronaut.
And I'm on the international moon for a number of technical reasons and exploration.
You are thinking it is. And this is the kind of engineering research that we're doing on Space Station. It's needed so that when we go to Mars, we won't run out of water.
Going to Europa, there's all kinds of targets to go to, places of interest in our solar system.
And of course, not only would you have angry birds if you ran out of water, you'd have angry human beings too. I want to do some physics demonstrations that involve some of the things you might see in the Angry Birds game. And of course, I've got my Angry Bird here, but we need a pig. Well, I'm not very good at art. It's a good thing I decided to be a scientist and an engineer instead of an artist, because I'd probably be starving by now. Okay, here is Pig. And of course, Pig is the arch enemy of Angry Bird. Here, gravity will attract an object if it's moving in a straight line, and it will no longer move in a straight line. It gets bent, and it goes in a curved trajectory. And guess what? Astronauts have to worry about these things, because if you're in a rocket, and say you're trying to get from
the only limit
one orbit and rendezvous a space station, you end up going to curved trajectory like an angry bird gets their eggs stolen by Pig. This is all that's left of Pig.
Water is also very dangerous on the space station because we have a lot of electricity, so we need to be very careful. Water is also very dangerous on the space station because we have a lot of electricity, so we need to be very careful. Water is also very dangerous on the space station because we have a lot of electricity, so we need to be very careful.
The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication.
At some point in the future, we'll look back and say, how did we do it without this?
I'm just going to science the heck out of this.
Listen very carefully. The Earth is flat, gentlemen. That's right, it's flat as a table.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and...
Shake your love.
Do you like Americans?
Research flat Earth? What are you talking about?
Okay.
Although originally polarizing to audiences and critics.
Darling, you want to get fluoride free, try Tom's toothpaste. There's Tom's, and then there's a couple other ones. Just look for fluoride free.
The Earth is flat.
I just can't shake your love. Shake your
Research
love.
flat Earth? What are you talking about?
Hi, I'm Dick Cavett, and
you're not
Research flat Earth? What are you talking about? Research flat Earth? What are you talking about? Research flat Earth? What are you talking about? Research flat Earth? What are you talking about?
Embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
Flat. I don't even have to say what's called flat. It is flat. Right? It can be flat like a tabletop. Absolutely flat. Picture of space is determined by the stuff.
Thinking it is.
Who said the entering
Flat. I don't even have to say what's called flat. It is flat. Right? It can be flat like a tabletop.
Thinking it is.
Who said the entering
Picture of space is determined by the stuff. I don't even have to say what's called stuff in space. The right amount of stuff. It can be flat like a tabletop.
Thinking it is.
Who said the entering
Picture of space is determined. That's why it looks flat. And that's one of the ideas.
Now, when you say flat, like that, my brain doesn't understand this. You're saying flat, like how much height?
Think of two, like this tabletop. And so you know what flat is on this table. That actually defines flat. That's only true on a flat surface. So you can define flatness.
So when you're saying flatness, what is the height?
Called flat. I don't even have to say what's called flat. It is flat.
Day after day, it reappears. Night after night, my heart beats. What does it all mean?
Each stick casts no shadow at all. That's perfectly easy to understand, provided the Earth is flat.
They told me that you had gone totally insane. And,
people like me have been losing to people like him since the world first started spinning. I know how the world works. People like me have been losing to people like him since the world first started spinning.
Solution song. People don't know what shot. The earth is flat.
And then somebody says, hey, Earth's flat. Hey, Earth's flat. They say, well, yeah, but I know hey, Earth's flat. Lots of people that have been to space.
But it's just flat and gorgeous to see.
And so the Earth is flat.
How do we know the Earth is not flat?
The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat, and this is a fact.
Remember, the Earth is incredibly flat.
Nothing to do with the flat Earth. Okay.
Talking about the water level, Jose.
Oh, I thought you were talking about hydrostatics. It has nothing to do with the water level.
Yeah, it is the water level, right?
You can't make a horizontal a mile long. It's not going to work.
You can make a water level a mile long.
Correct. I agree with that.
3 level points, and you
3 coplanar points.
Triangle between them, or a straight line.
Level is horizontal.
I agree, level's horizontal.
I did not say that the level is not horizontal.
Jesse Kozlowski is irrelevant.
Like DP, he says, level is a straight line on a horizontal plane.
He's a wise man.
Of your understanding of the world in which you live, then of course the world looks flat.
You're a universal horizontal waterer.
The world looks flat.
Bam! Water levels give you horizontal.
I'm using laws of math and physics to show Earth is flat.
The world looks flat.
When we say flat, as just a common parlance way of not saying lots and lots of words, when we say Earth is flat or flat earther, we do mean that you think horizontal is level.
But I love flat earthers.
Do you have a brain injury? Because I did have a brain injury when I was younger. It was fixed though. I had a very, very small aneurysm before I joined the military.
Neil, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
You twat.
It's level.
That's what I do.
There are assholes that just talk bollocks all the time.
Horizontal is a plane, level is the curved surface.
Flat is curved.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
The axioms of Euclidean geometry stand true for a flat plane. For things that are in 2 dimensions, they do not stand true for anything in 3 dimensions.
So out of touch with science.
Science doesn't prove anything.
You don't need to be a scientist to know that the Earth is round.
Science doesn't prove things. It's literally not what science does.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round.
The Earth is flat.
How can a straight line form a circle?
At what point does a horizontal start to bend?
The whole way, all the time, constantly.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat,
The Earth is flat, and this is a fact.
that's worth reporting.
I died once.
But you might also want to report on
The Earth is flat.
a bunch of scientific evidence that seems to support the notion that the world is round.
Honestly, science doesn't prove things. That's not what science does. Proof is literally a word that is used for mathematics. The only way you can prove something is with maths.
Step off the train.
That's flat.
Walking down your street again.
That's flat.
Past your door.
That's flat.
You don't live there anymore.
That's flat.
See it since you've been away.
That's flat.
And you disappeared somewhere.
That's flat.
Down in space. That's all flat.
About not believing our senses.
Stuck in the past.
Listen to me very carefully.
We've heard this kind of thinking
Yeah, I
before.
would rather cheese grate my nipples.
Let me tell you something.
Listen to my words very
If some of these folks were around when Columbus set sail,
Straight lines can curve.
Listen again.
Straight lines can curve. Parallel lines can intersect.
they must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society.
The internal angles of the triangle equal more than 180.
I talk about YouTube characters and names. I don't talk about real life.
They
Put some stickers on there that say, I'm a fucking liar.
But the only place that proof exists is within us. Well, there we go then. In a mathematical sense, a straight line.
Right?
It can only be perfectly horizontal at a single point.
Oh yeah, it's measurable.
Here's a reasonable offer for you.
And the trouble is, we know he claims to teach this to his children as well. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what bugs the crap out of me.
Teaching that level is horizontal.
Yeah, because that's wrong.
Like that water is level.
No, you teach your child that level is a horizontal plane, which is not true. And the implication of that is that you are teaching your child the earth is flat. The earth is flat. The earth is flat. The earth is flat.
Along with it.
I think that was some video I was watching.
Yeah.
In the chat. In the chat, I said, "Oh,
Yeah, have you, Brad?
yep, they're on the line. They're pretty safe where they're at."
No, the question was, again, I'll state the question again. Make it as simple as I can. Do you think it is possible to have a vertical that is parallel to a horizontal?
Yes.
Get back. You mean the Earth isn't flat?
And Nation program as it has been the Nation program for adults.
I think go home. Huh?
Story of a man named Matt. For NASA, he painted the bald earth map. Off the canvas, he pictured it too, to show the world below, listen, the earth. The earth is flat, and that's alright. The globe is wrong from all facts. I know for a fact that the earth is flat. You cannot hold on the outside of the ball. So many, the talent he wants. Then came up with a skit to expose the low line and put an end to his comedian career. The earth is flat, and that's alright. The globe is wrong from all the facts. I know for a fact that the earth is flat. The water cannot hold outside of a ball. Aftermath, so many woke up from the light. I'll say Mark, Rob, Jared, Del, Antonio, and Matt to expose the reality we see. That water cannot hold on the outside of a ball. The earth is flat, and that's alright. The globe is wrong from all the facts. I know for a fact that the earth is flat. This water cannot hold on the outside of a ball. For a fact that the earth is flat, cause water cannot hold. Water cannot hold. Cause water cannot hold on the outside of a ball.
that searchers of cosmic truths have arrived at. And in there is their enthusiasm, their excitement. You end up liking their subject even if you didn't care about their subject because they brought enthusiasm to it. Curmudgeon or anything, or just tall. I got one, you ready? Now, you know, I don't curmudgeon or anything. You don't see the curvature of the earth. You just don't.
Hamden even penned a letter to Wallace's wife, threatening to beat her husband to death. Hamden was thrown in jail and sued, but because he rescinded the bet, the wager was declared invalid, and Wallace was forced to return the money. Hamden saw this as a vindication, and so did some of the general public. Wallace and Hamden were in and out of court for years. This caught the attention of the newspapers. Here was a guy no one had ever heard of, with some very unusual beliefs, even for 19th century England, engaged in a high-profile legal battle with one of the most famous scientists of the time.
Find out why we believe what we believe, and that timeline of what people thought and believed, and it was always a battle of all these astronomers studying the lights in the sky. That's all they saw was the lights in the sky. Everything goes this way except those wandering stars. They're the only ones that are on their own course. So they're all trying to figure out, is the universe spinning around us, or are we spinning around the universe? You didn't look into it yourself. You just think when someone tells you, how far is the Earth from the sun? They'll say, 93 million miles away. Always been a debate. Are we moving? Aren't we moving? Even with Einstein, it was a debate. Did like in the fucking 20s and 30s. They still didn't know. The people at the top don't even know. They don't even know. It's all theories. You're gonna tell me that light and that light that's 250, 100 trillion light years away? How the fuck did you figure that out? Don't they have an explanation for that shit? What you just said right now, what you just said now is what everyone's natural reaction. You automatically think someone figured it out. All the shit we've learned about science is trash. Based on these observations, this could also work. The sun's going around. Oh, we're going around the sun, and then there was a third one where we're the center. The sun's going around us, but the planets are going around the sun. There was 3 models, and they were all based on observations, like dudes just looking at lights. They're looking at lights, trying to figure out, okay, are we going around the sun, or is the sun going around us? They don't know shit. The red light is elongated. That's a galaxy. And it's 700 trillion light years away. How the fuck? It sounds like there's a lot of bullshit with cosmology. I think it's all fake. How come? Once you go through the whole story of what we think about space and all, they tell you. think, like I always thought, oh, they're dumb back then. Everything's revolving around us. 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 Everything's revolving around us.
Kept coming up.
Space. There's no infinite space. Infinite space. There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way. Saying the Earth is flat. Flat Earth is over Antarctica. All over Antarctica. About the flat Earth narrative.
Flat Earth people.
Pictures of Antarctica. There are no pictures of Antarctica. Antarctica, the pictures of Antarctica are composites. There is no pictures of Antarctica. No flights go over Antarctica. Flights over Antarctica, there isn't. There's no flights over even close to the pole of Antarctica. Is that Antarctica is, I'm going to have on Eric Dubay, I believe his last name is.
There's no way.
Flat Earth, but it's a lot harder than you think. Debated Flat Earth guy, and the Flat Earth guy won the debate, and that was very humbling for me.
If I'm gonna have on Eric Dubay, I have to really do some research, because Stefan got really angry at the guy, and the guy was saying there's no pictures of globe Earth, and Stefan was like, but NASA, and the guy was like, the government, Stefan, like you're the guy that is against the government, you hate the government. Why do you? The only evidence of round Earth, like the only images of round Earth, is a heavily photoshopped image from the various governments of the world. And then Manu was saying, well, the European space program, China, and he's like, the governments. After World War II, there was absolutely a propaganda campaign where the governments of the world got together and are doing some shit. And this is another thing that
there's no way that has anything to do.
There's no way.
Went to the moon? Do you think that we live on a ball shooting 1,000,000 miles an hour through space, one way, 600,000 miles another way, 60,000 miles another way, and then spinning 1,000 flat Earth?
Flat Earth and the moon landing.
Scientists, flat Earth debates by a flat earther named allegedly Dave.
I'm going to have on Eric Dubay, I believe his last name is.
There's no way flat Earth. Most of the space stuff that we get, we have to take their word for it. And the moon is its own light source. It's not reflecting the sun.
No,
they are trying to, they're creating this infinite space, but it's all fake.
Satellites are real?
I don't think so. If you look into the experiments to prove that the Earth is spinning, all of them failed. Look into it. You guys are fooled by the fisheye lens? Come on, man.
Say something cheerful.
I never have listened to you! You lost your mind! Which came to stop you waking you!
Oh, look! The abyss will suck away your strength!
I must not! Get out! Come on, then! What did I say?
You still want to get to Asgard!
I used to think the world was flat.
Why don't you show him how wrong they are? The world was flat, the world was flat, the world was flat, the world was flat. He went down in history. Be surprised what you can do if you will only try. The world was flat. Remember the tortoise and the world was flat, where and Slowpoke took first place. The world was flat. You'll be surprised what you can do. The world was flat, you can't ride a rainbow in the sky. The world was flat. You'll be surprised what you can do if you will only try. The world was flat.
But the world is flat on his forehead. But the world is flat on his forehead.
And now on Book TV, we're live with author and astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Death by Black Hole. For people...
Get over it. That's all. Up until tools. And so, pond water, tools. You can say, does that make sense? Pond water, drop of water, pond water, which is what properties you would do, then sky's the limit. Well, so you'll get. So they find him guilty of saying that Earth goes around the sun and not vice versa, as well as other discoveries he's made with his devil's instrument. And in Italian, which means the local people can read it. In Italian, which all, if you track the statements of the simpleton, they're all statements that have come by official decree from the Catholic Church. So a pompous a-hole, basically. Can I say that?
Basically. Can I say that?
And so...
Basically. Can I say that?
And so probably would not have gone to trial. But he had to come in. That's my read of this, basically. And so you probably don't have the money to do it in your garage. It'll be a government source, and NASA has. And so
coffee lounges at workshops or
that's interesting, because you had no intent of matching me. You don't even like me. A general lean towards a truth, an emergent truth.
It's flat. It's flat. It's flat.
All of these experiments point to approximately the same result, and they have these few outliers here.
It's flat.
We come to recognize that this is the new truth, the new objectively established truth we have ever devised in the natural world. Nothing rivals it at all. And so then I say, here is how the world works. Then we go on to the next problem. Revolution.
It'll be a government source, and NASA has.
And gas to do that.
Think the world is flat? Go right ahead.
And everybody on board perished.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe.
Because the universe actually now has a temperature, you can measure it. Got measured in the 1960s. Very cool. To do that, you look in every direction and you see.
Let's show them a clip here, Johnny. Public Enemies opens July 1st, and what are we going to see? I don't know.
Science, flatline. You fools for the last time. Flatline. Is no superior bloodline.
Warte, Alter, was soll das denn?
Wieso? Du nimmst den ganzen Käse.
Der klebt aber am Chip. Ja, weil du den Nukleus hast.
Was?
I think I'm joking. I am not joking. If someone's a flat earther, they tell me.
And if something is not a sphere, it's a little bit flattened, you can ask what flattened it, and you find out, oh, it's rotating real fast.
Right.
So then it gets a little flattened because of that.
Wenn man einen Haufen Nachos hat, gibt es immer einen Hauptchip, der alles zusammenhält. Den Nukleus. Der wird aber nicht gegessen, der wird umrundet. Der Kern wird geehrt.
Once you go flat, there's no going back. The plan of attack is stick to the facts. The whole thing will fall when we give up the ball and prove that the earth isn't moving at all. So it's time to commit, put an end to this shit. Draw lines in the sand, take sides with the fan with the minds that they can. Show lines when the men realize that the plan is to take all they can. Educate yourself first, then take a stand so you can demand. the proof in your hands when nukes on the damn L2 can remain calm and say you're all wrong. It's a fact that Earth is flat.
Das ist Nacho-Basiswissen, Mann.
Kann ich jetzt essen oder hat mir dann jemand eine...
And for a long period of time, people argued that the Earth was flat, even when the evidence of astronomers and others...
Es gibt Menschen da draußen, die mögen keinen Sprühkäse. Aber wir alle teilen uns nun mal diese blaue Kugel.
The truth is that, you know, people used to joke years and years ago about those who argued that the Earth was flat. Hard scientific, peer-reviewed evidence to the effect that it is, in fact, that the Earth was flat for a period of time, who doesn't somehow feel, if they accept the science. I mean, there's still some folks out there arguing flat Earth, you know, policy.
Which is the stuff that tells you what to do?
How can that be possible?
Hold on to your hats here. It's flat. It's flat.
Thrilled to search the flat earth subject with the world. She has personal experience. She knows of what she speaks. The very idea that we could have scientific opportunity, the biblical power to cure, and yet to have a radical agenda that prevents that from happening is, I think, immoral. Immoral. Has a business side to it, too. You know, we're all talking about how we're going to maintain our competitive edge in the world and be on the forefront of technology and new ideas. And basically, the administration has just said flat Earth society attitudes on science of the Bush administration.
Credible United Nations.
I did a little research.
1492. Imagine the hard time they've given Christopher Columbus. Voices on the right and left are working right now to breathe life into those old flat Earth theories.
Time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Why would it take this long?
President Obama's the problem.
Donald Trump shouldn't be president.
One of the folks on television said,
Earth is flat.
Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Libertarians, Greens, anybody to combat this threat on behalf of our kids. I'm open to all sorts of new ideas. Maybe better ideas. Time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
Boom shakalaka! Boom shakalaka! Boom shakalaka!
The tastiest sodas known to man.
We're the funny guy at the fraternity. They always talk about a fraternity tinge to your comedy, or fraternity-like. I don't even know if you were in a fraternity.
Know what you mean by they?
Well, I mean different ones, as we say in the Midwest. The press, the scribes, the gentlemen who...
It's probably the rival fraternities.
Can make or break us.
That's true. They can make or break us.
One of those dreadful deeks or feeks or whatever they're called. Those.
Well, a lot of we geeks don't consider it dreadful. There are ways to eat. There are ways to practice a religion. This, of course, wouldn't be one of them. Let me put it this way.
But if I was casting about searching for a fact, you were not in a
No,
I wasn't either. Does that surprise you?
No, not really. It doesn't particularly interest me. I wasn't in a fraternity, but
Why weren't you? And then I'll tell you why I wasn't, if I can summon some
I
interest.
tried to get into the sororities as much as I could. That's one reason. They just didn't have them much around those days.
At Bard?
Bard College, they didn't have fraternities.
Oh, yeah.
Bard College is a very filthy college. And small and liberal and progressive. So you don't have fraternities at a place like that because people simply rip them to pieces, burn them, and then smoke them. Later, that's the kind of... No, it's a very wonderful school. It's not. I'm not putting it down.
Bard backwards is drab, isn't it?
No.
No, that's right. I don't know what got into me.
I will say this. Parcheesi. No, I will say...
We'll say that, eh?
I got the script.
That stuff is whack.